Now, I just want to show you guys something very quickly, and I want to have your remarks on the EEF leader of South Africa, Julius Malema, on his take. They are just simply trying to genocide the Boers or the white Afrikaners that came over here, or the ones that still remain in South Africa. Now, he said some very daunting words, and believe me, I'm just going to let the cat out the bag. A lot of people, a lot of white people around the world, when they heard Julius Malema's talk, period, not this particular clip I'm about to show you guys, but talk in general, just don't like him. They believe that he's a racist. They believe that he hates white people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm just going to give you a small clip here to have your take on it. I want to know what you guys think, because I think it's really important.
I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I'm saying to you, we've not called for the killing of white people, at least for now. I can't guarantee the future.
Yeah, but I mean, you'd understand somebody watching that, especially as it gets shared on Twitter, they freak out. It sounds like a genocidal call.
Cry babies. Cry babies.
I'm not calling for the slaughter of white people, at least for now.
I can't give a guarantee of the future, especially when things are going the way they are.
Subtext.
Especially if things are going the way they are, there will be a revolution in this country, I can tell you now. I don't know.
Wow. He said there's going to be a revolution in this country, I tell you now. Can we hear that one more time? Do you guys mind? I just want you guys to hear that one more time.
When things are going the way they are.
Subtext.
Especially if things are going the way they are, there will be a revolution in this country, I can tell you now. I don't know what's going to happen.
Let me tell you why that's very significant of what Julius Malema just said. Now, of course, I don't call or support of genociding or killing any people who are not doing harm to you presently. But there's a dark history in South Africa, just as well as a dark history in America. We don't need to go over it. We already know. But for you guys who may be privy to some surface knowledge, do not forget the white people that the South Africans are dealing with are descendants of the apartheid generation. Just as well as Black Americans in America, we're dealing with 3 to 4 generations past of slave masters in America. And in some regards, you see a lot of very inflammatory speech on the internet where you see suspected white supremacists calling Black people certain names, getting into altercations verbally and physically. I digress. The apartheid is not that far apart from today. The apartheid, there are still people living, okay? There are still people living who are descendants of the people who were tormented by the colonizers during the apartheid, when those people from the northern region of Europe, we're talking about Finland, Switzerland, the Danes, all these different groups went down to South Africa and colonized them. And then they went through apartheid. And when you look at the colonization of South Africa, when you look at the apartheid, that was a revolution. That was a revolution. And in some regards, some people called it a revolutionary genocide, because anyone who did not side with the white Afrikaners that were colonizing the Black South Africans were killed. They were in jail. They were missing. All these egregious, very demonstrous, very despicable things were happening to the Black South Africans. Now, I know these are not the same people who are residing in the white South Africans that reside there now. These are not the same people. These are the descendants of those people. Now, the only way, and I'm not talking about the violence or the revolution where he's calling for certain people to be harmed, not saying that. But the only way to understand the current environmental conditions when it comes to race in South Africa is to talk to both sides. It's to have both sides to give their take of the perspective of the race relations and the actions that are happening in South Africa. Let me give you guys a little more perspective here. Okay, I didn't want to stay before you long, but I think this may be important because I want to show you guys something so I can again solidify my stance so you understand essentially where I come from. And the only way I can do that is show you when I went to South Africa, and just bear with me here. I'm trying to look for my photo album that I created, because anytime I travel somewhere, guys, I make a travel video, and it takes me, believe me or not, usually when you guys get the video, I've already been there 2 weeks past because it takes me a long time to edit. Okay, I don't edit as much. Give me 1 second here as I'm looking for this. I'll say, okay, give me 1 second here. All right, I just want to share. I want to share something with you guys. Now, here's me, my lovely wife. We went to South Africa. Now, do you guys see all of these houses back here? Now, yeah, that's when I gained. I really had a big stomach there. I've lost a lot of weight since then. I'm looking pretty good. Okay, health as well. But let me show you this. So if you look in the background here, not the people standing, but all of these houses, look how beautiful South Africa is. And this is close to Tabletop Mountain. But nonetheless, all these houses, let me just give you guys perspective. This area in South Africa is a rich white neighborhood. This is in Cape Town, South Africa. This is a rich white neighborhood, which is 99% white. South Africa is only 8 to 10% white. It's 90+% black. But whites hold 90% of the wealth. How did whites and how do the white South Africans hold 90% of the wealth? It was through apartheid, because they control every aspect of South Africa. We're talking about the infrastructure, the government, the economics, the social infrastructure, anything dealing with the country. The white South Africans at one point in time owned, operated, and controlled. So again, I'm not giving justifications of the words and the possible actions that Julius Malema is talking about. I do not agree with that. I do not agree in revolutionary genocide, even when it happened to Black Americans. I don't agree with. I'm totally against it. I believe there's a very diplomatic way that they can come to some sort of agreement other than call for the genocide of a certain people. But being on the ground in South Africa, I learned the demographics, the wealth, where that resides at to a certain degree. There's just a lot going on in South Africa where Americans, white, black, and indifferent, just not privy and aware of how things are shaping out in South Africa. No one really is understanding the dynamics of everything that's going on in South Africa. They're just not. Okay. I just thought about it. I wore that shirt last night and it was flat. But nonetheless, people are not really understanding the demographics, the statuses of a lot of people. Okay. And I remember, and bear with me here, I remember showing this video. I'm just going to show you a little bit here. Just showing you a little bit there. I'm going to see if I can get this started. I'm going to show you guys that very quickly. I'm not going to give you the whole vacation video. If you want to look at it, it's on my channel, Blacklogic. But nonetheless, I just want to give you a little more context instead of just talking surface about the situation. Because again, just so we understand, I'm not for genocide in any regards. And hopefully, if there is a revolution, I hope it's very diplomatic and very peaceful.